Hey everyone, my name is Cedric Harding. I am the founder of Legacy Smart Group, and today I will be giving you my personal class on social media. So, what works best for me? Hopefully, it works for you too. So, let's get straight to it. I'm going to give you the presentation. Just a second. All right. So while I'm pulling this up, just think about what are the ways. The number one way to get your information out there is to just through social media. It's free. You can take advantage of it. You don't have to pay anybody, and is right in the palm of your hands. Especially if you have a cell phone. So those are the things that you want to look at when you talk about social media. All right. So here we go. Boom, there it is. So hopefully you can see my screen here. All right, so when it comes down to social media training, right? When you log in, these are things that you love to see. You got an email, you got likes, you got friend requests, you got messages, you got comments on all the great things that you're doing. So, all right, I'm going to break all of this down to you, especially just giving you the basics. All right, so these are things that we're going to talk about. We're going to do a social media complete overview, getting you started from finish to end. Now, we're not going to go in depth today on how to actually get in there, set up the application, but I'm just going to give you an overview so you know what the end result is going to be. So we're going to talk about the purpose of branding your business, media platforms and tools you can use, the best ones for your business. All right, some of the best ones, grouping your audience and your business. Okay, you got to know where you're going to focus. Developing relationships, especially with those that you're meeting on social media, because now it's a digital world. We're not meeting everyone in person, but if you have a business, as you see over here, you see the globe over there, you want to be nationwide. You want to be all across the world talking to everyone that wants and you've created a demand for what you can offer. But then you got to have a perfect line of communication. And I'm going to tell you how to actually do that using social media. And then hopefully you'll be ready for the challenge, which accept the Google challenge, and then start making some posts out of this. All right. So the purpose of branding, I want to brand you and your business. So not myself. You're going to do this using social media. So as you see here, in just a small in this picture, this image right here, you want to brand, but you got to design. You got to have a good logo that attracts business and talks to you, right? You're going to come up with that marketing, what's the value of the products and things that you're offering. And today we're going to, and what I do is I focus on financial solutions. So my marketing may be different from yours. And then whatever you do, everyone that has that demand for what you want, it's all about trust, especially when you talk about communication. You want to trust that you have the best product that's going to match your name and your brand and all those things that you're bringing to the table. And then what your identity is. Your identity sells everything. Just because you are you, I want what you have. Let's create that. All right, so here are the 5 W's and the purpose of branding. So I just, do this verbatim. Usually I don't read from the slide, but I just, because it's right there in front of you, I want to give it to you and you can look this up. You want to use strategies of all elements that generates memories, awareness, networking, communication, and everything that attracts the customers. Now, what's your mission? Whatever we do, we want to help our people every day, right? When I'm talking about helping our people every day, helping people in our community, you know, from all walks of the world. What can your brand, can your product, can anything, what you're offering help the individuals wherever they are, right? So, looking at that, that's bringing hope back to the community. So what are you offering that sets you apart from others? That's what you gotta, you're always competing with someone else. There's always someone that's doing what you're doing. What makes you different from them? Where will you and your business be years from now? So are you just doing this just because you want to make a quick buck? And just understand, people are going to watch you, so you got to be consistent with what you're doing. So if you're just posting here and there, I don't may not take you serious. So in order to be serious, people are looking at what you're doing now because it's going to pay off for you later, right? Why do we do what we do? So only you know the answer to that. My mission is to change the lives, the vision of people across the world, to for health, talking about life, generational wealth, and partnership. So that's why I do what I do. What is when you create your brand, you have to have that laid out. Why do you do this? What's and so that way every time you talk, you can tell your story. And what is your promise to yourself and others? Because this is the only thing that's going to keep you engaged, falling in love with the process, and being true to what you're trying to do. So people can pick this out when you're on social media and you're branding, and you're talking, and you're advertising, you're doing videos or whatever you do. Um, you're keeping that promise to yourself and that commitment. So if you're not going to follow through with this, don't even waste your time because you're just putting out an image that you're not a person that follows through, or maybe you are a person that follows through. So you keep this. These are the 5 W's. Keep this in front of you. Write it down. Develop your plan as you're looking at the picture on the left. Is tall. I love that strategy with your ideas, your organization, marketing, product promotion, all those good things. All right. So this is one thing I love. All right. So branding visually, you gotta, first thing you want to do is let's start this from right to left. You see Nike, you know who that is. You know that's the famous Nike swoosh, right? When you see that, if you don't know, you never thought about why that is, what is it symbol? What do you have? What does your brand symbolize? So you got to put that picture out there, right? Now, understand sometimes when you look at these companies, you don't see the face, you don't see the owner of that company. You see the image, the photo, the motto, or whatever the case may be. So when you see that swoosh, that symbolizes the sound of speed, movement, power, and motivation. When the kids get a brand new Nike shoe, they feel good. They feel like they go out there and be the best because they got the best shoe on their foot. If they're a Nike fan, right? That's what that symbolizes. Now, here's a great company. This is a company that focuses uh, on universal life products, right? Allianz. I love this company. One out of many that I support and encourage all financial insurance brokers to have. All right. Now, looking at this, I've seen this image, and just be sure that you don't copyright anything. But there stands for strength and courage. Strength, courage, and motivation. I love that. Right. So it's just when you see this, that this is Allianz. You know that that's Nike. Now, what is it when they see your name? Right. As you see Bentley, you see what's another one that you think of? All right. So what if it was just your name? Right. What is your name? Let's brand your name. So when you get out there, I want to talk about branding your name. That's what you want to do. Who are you to the client? There are several names that appear the same, right? The Johnson Financial, the Jackson Financial, the Harding Financial. I want to be separate. You want to be separate. So find a name. If it's going to be a name that's unique, now you got to put a photo to it to make it stand out, right? So then that's what you want to identify. You want to identify your legacy, and you want to paint that picture and leave it. So guess what? When they come to you, they see your name, then that's what they're going for. All right. So this is what it is. You can take a picture of this, screenshot it, do whatever you need to do. But this is what Cedric is laying out for you today. These are the biggest platforms, some of the biggest platforms that there are today. The ones that makes me successful and many others. So if um, you want to be found on Google, if you want to start talking about Google now, switching to that, it's all about indexing. So if you look up indexing, or you go to Google and you search, how can I be found on Google? And then you're going to learn that Google is nothing but a library, right? It's not something that some pay advertise. They have paid advertisements, but Google is going to pop up the number one thing that people are searching for. So if you're looking, you go in there and just put pizza, it's not going to put your favorite restaurant like mine is Italian Fiesta from the southern side of Chicago. So Italian Fiesta, I might get Uno or um, what's another? It doesn't matter. But whatever the pizza is, they're going to pop up the one that's being searched the most. So do you want your brand, your name to be pop up number one? Well, guess what? F- let's talk about how that becomes relevant, right? So if you want to be successful, right? You want to get yourself out there on social media. And this is not all, right? There are um Snapchat and a couple other things that's out there, but these are the ones that if you're doing a business, special in financial solutions, these are the top ones. So starting from left to left, you have TikTok. I'm going to talk about TikTok. TikTok is one that you can actually jump on and actually started off for children, right? And it just blew up to something massive where you can have X amount of videos and it can reach people just about anywhere, right? So because it started internationally, right? So then now you have LinkedIn, that's where most of your professionals are, right? Now going back to TikTok, you got a lot of entrepreneurs that have jumped on board because I'll talk about how why they're jumping on board. So TikTok is one of your biggest ones. LinkedIn, where you can put your professional profile and have businesses and other individuals actually look out for you to find you for your business. Then you have Instagram. All right, Instagram is really one of those ones where you can advertise to as well, but it's more about putting your images, right? So TikTok was for the videos. LinkedIn was for your professional biography and tell about your business and yourself. Instagram is for those photos and talk about the location. Let's draw people here, and just remember, think about the age groups the age group and the type of individuals that are within those platforms. All right, now why do you got Google Voice there? Guess what? I'm not going to give out my personal cell phone number to everybody, right? I got to know who's calling me, right? So guess what? I'm going to create a Google Voice number, and that way I want to advertise until I actually, if you don't have your own personal office and landline, guess what? As you're growing in a business, you can use Google Voice. It creates a number, it links to your Gmail, and it's easy to be found, and you know who's calling you. That way you can turn around and say, hey, Mr. Client, Miss Client, all right, you know what? I really want to talk to you. Call me on the 773 number. That is my personal line. Other than that, everybody's getting a 224. Okay. So now the biggest thing, one of the ones that I love, you have several different awesome platforms. Yahoo. Some people still use AOL. All right. But you got Gmail. Gmail, basically when you log into a platform, hey, connect through Gmail or Facebook or anything. Gmail gives you so many options that is ridiculous. That's free, and you can rename it. You don't know want to name your email Juicy Fruit 2000 at gmail.com, and you want me to do business with you. So you want it to be um, Mr. CEO last name first name at gmail.com until you can actually change that and put something behind it. So that's something that you want to have. then guess what? You got to start being, I've worked through this over the years, right? Now you got to start presenting yourself, presenting your product and putting it out there. You don't have to have some fancy background and videos and people flying in, like a Tyler Perry movie or something like that. Develop your own YouTube channel and do a presentation just like I'm doing right now, right? I want to do a deeper dive on this, okay? Then you got Facebook. Everyone, I'm in my I want to tell you that I'm in my 20s, but I might, I got muscles like I'm in my 40s, the hard, tough muscles, right? So Facebook is one of the number one platforms, the top platforms that's out there. So that way you can connect with different groups and things like that. And I want to talk more about that. So you got Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. All right. Several others, but these are the ones that I'm highlighting today. All right. What each platform offers, right? Now, this over time, this is going to update. This is going to change. Today is the 29th of April, 2022. All right. And things are probably changing as I speak. So I'm going to give you the highlights as of right now. So, why did I jump on TikTok? As I was Facebook and Instagram heavy. And then I noticed, how are they making these long videos? TikTok actually lets you record I think it may be up to 10 minutes now, but it lets you at least do 3 minutes. You can do 30 seconds, 160 seconds, 3 minutes, right? You can do a video, you can download the video, you can share that video, and you can push it across all different platforms. It has great content coming from other entrepreneurs that you can do a split screen. And guess what? Add your different backgrounds. You can almost make a full blown video off of using TikTok and get your message across within that short time period. That's all you need. So if the kids have to travel from one classroom to another classroom and they get 3 to 4 minutes to get there, then you can get this video done. Okay. One thing that I love is after spending a lot of time living in Europe is I have a lot of friends that live overseas, right? So guess what? They get to see that content. I love that. A lot of these you get to see the content, but some of them they have limitations. So then knowing that where this is created, who it came from, everyone's gonna be able to see this. And you can track the viewers. So guess what? You looked at this awesome video that I probably spent 2 hours trying to put together in 3 minutes. Guess what? Now I can see that 1,347 people have viewed my video and only 2 people liked it. Right? A lot of work that goes into it. I just want to tell you that. And then it's for all age groups. All age groups. I don't want you to have to be out there dancing just to get a like, but there's a lot of content that you can get out. Now, there's Instagram. Moving over to the middle. Instagram is really based on um, photos and images to sell your vision, right? There's no real conversations that's happening there, right? Like the other platforms. So you got a video, just like TikTok offers that. But guess what? It might be a little bit shorter time frame. But I love that they have reels, and those reels play over and over and over and over again. And plus, you had the videos. But just remember, TikTok may not restrict some content. There's a lot of things that's copyright. Whether you put, I may not own the rights to this music or whatever. I'll give you an example. I had this nice Prince song, Purple Rain, that I wanted to play, and I crossed it over, but there was a copyright restriction. So, with some of these platforms, and it muted the music. So you can see the video, but you can't hear anything. So some of the things, those are those restrictions that you have to take a look at. So I love that you can remix reels. I've been getting a lot of feedback. You know, there's one with Steve Harvey. There's one with Pitbull. Now you have Rick Ross is a huge converting over to a huge entrepreneur, just like Shaq. And they're making some strong things that are just motivational. So you hit the remix option, and guess what? You see my handsome face or your handsome or pretty face, and guess what? Now that image that people want to see is tied with your photo on the side looking over like, I did this. Thanks for like, hit the like button, right? Now, hashtag. I'll talk more about hashtags, IDs here shortly, but you can do the hashtag ID on all of them. But guess what? Instagram feeds off of that. You can find people just like that. Find people, find things, find everything that you're looking for just by hashtags. And you want to look at, hey, who's got, you know, hashtag Cedric Harding on his less than 1,000 posts. Hashtag McDonald's, millions of posts, right? And now I can look at anybody that's put hashtag McDonald's or hashtag Chicago Bears and maybe even follow that, right? So you can do direct messages with all of these platforms, but a lot of direct messages come from here, right? And you can actually do a couple things where you can do sales and things like that, right? And boost your posts. Now Facebook, you can do groups. You can create a group of individuals that you just want information to go to. But now you can also create a page where you can advertise. So if you're an individual that doesn't have your own um, online website, you can start from the bottom and start with a page on Facebook, and everybody can find it. Put your link out there, right? And if you have Instagram, you can share, you can link a lot of these together. You can link your Instagram to go to your Facebook and share that content, right? You can still do hashtags so people can find you just like people do on Twitter, but I'm not talking about Twitter today. Okay. It's got the international limitations too as well, right? Uh, a lot of associations that you can have, people from your childhood, people that you can find from just about anywhere, they can find you, right? Now and then you can do vice versa, to sharing and direct messaging and tracking those with Messenger. Okay. All right, so went a little bit longer on that, but I want to drive that home so you knew the differences. Now you got LinkedIn. All right, now you can network with professionals that's just talking about that, right? Hey, someone may be out there looking for to get into the field if the field or opportunity that you're in. Are you going to offer that to them? Don't just have your opportunity. This is marketing. You want to share the knowledge that you have. And there may be someone looking for that for employment. You're going to need an assistant and things later down the line. And this is maybe where you find those individuals, or maybe where you may need something and you can find that individual, the CEO or someone that can bring something to the table. And you see the biographies about individuals, everything that brought them to where they are, you know, their history, work history, and things like that. You'll find major events. You may even find information about the carriers that you may be working for or working with or broker for. And then, individuals for employment. Now, Gmail can't talk. Um, I can't say. There's unlimited things that I can say about this. I love the storage, sharing files, putting things. So guess what? I forgot my laptop at home. Guess what? Let me log into my drive, and then guess what? I can go still pull that file, right? Let me get this out. I'm an Android person, so I'm not an iPhone person where I got airdrops and things like that. I can't really talk about iPhone because I'm an Android person. But guess what? You want to have your Gmail account where basically you can save and have access to a wide range of things that Gmail has to offer, right? That Google has to offer, right? Now, you can actually create you a business website using Google. So guess what? You can do Wix. You can do a couple other awesome programs that's out there. Well, if you're searching on Google, this is just me saying, you're searching on Google, Guess who they're gonna pop up first? The Google, the Google programs that's out there. We're gonna look them first before we put everyone else out there. That's me saying that from experience. Okay, so you can do the research on that yourself and do a test, but I'm just saying that from experience. So usually when you go search for something, there's an ad. Guess what? Someone paid for that ad. But guess what? If you're subscribing, you fall in that category, and guess what? You may pop up first. All right. Now you got the Wi-Fi phone access, and guess what? You can start doing Google Forms. You can start doing forms where you create questionnaires and several different things and share Excel files, especially if you don't have those files on your computer. Guess what? Now you have access through Google. Okay. So that's why this is a recommendation for you, a tool that you can have. And then I just love the site crossovers. So YouTube, there's nothing that if you just haven't been on YouTube, I'll just say this for you: great place to see content. I lost I messed up my remote to my bed. Guess what? I went on YouTube and found it. Right? This is how somebody put the content out there. Now you can be the person that puts the content out there. So sharing, another way to brand yourself, and then I want to tie all of this together. And guess what? You can use this as a recruiting tool as well. So if you make this a recruiting tool, and you giving good content that everybody loves, everybody likes, and people are sharing, that just makes you even bigger than what you projected yourself would be, right? Because you just branded yourself. You just put the image of what you bring to the table. All right, so let's talk about Miss Algorithm. I love Algorithm, right? Miss Algorithm through Google, right? Through Google, works like this. And this one I'm studying when I tell you about indexing. All right, so if you I want to jump ahead and talk about the challenge, right? So if you hashtag on these platforms, the way Google works is who from at least 3 different platforms. If somebody's looking for you on Facebook, somebody's talking about you on Facebook, somebody's talking about you on Instagram, people talking about you on, you got the YouTube channel, you on TikTok, you any and everywhere. It don't matter. It doesn't even matter. But at least it's coming from 3 different places. People find you. So when you put them hashtags, you're saying, hey, look at me, remember me. Guess what? That hashtag puts you out there. So you need to hashtag your name, hashtag your business. Every time you make a post, it's one or the other. Hashtag Mr. Harding, hashtag Legacy Smart Group over on Facebook. I'm getting tongue twisted. Hashtag Legacy Smart Group Instagram. Hashtag follow you page, right? Follow FY page, right? That's the one. Everybody's doing a following, right? Then, but guess what? Right after I try to get on that FY page, you get caught up in that group. Guess what? I'm hashtagging Legacy Smart Group, TikTok, or whatever your business is. So I just hit 3 different places, and I'm going to keep that going for 3 days. Guess what? Google's like, hey, what's going on with this Legacy Smart Group guy? Guess what? Let's go ahead and pop him up at the top. When you get a chance, go in there and search Legacy Smart Group. Search. Search your name. Search my name, right? And I want to keep doing this. I'm telling you about it. I'm preaching it, but I'm doing it. So you should find me, right? Good picture of this good looking guy right here because Miss Algorithm likes me. Now, you need to do posts, reels, stories, all right? Those are the highlights that I would like for you to do. All right, especially if you're part-time in any business. If you're part-time in one of these businesses, this is how you're gonna keep up with the full-time people. This is how you're gonna stay relevant. All right. So if you can't get out there and knock on doors, jump out of helicopters, do whatever you got to do, right? You're sending flyers and all that. You put all this money out here. You should have been doing this from the get go for free. Okay. And then guess what? Some of these websites actually pay you if you make the right type of content. Now, one of the things that I'll tell you is you want to know why people are dancing and doing flips and doing all this stuff to attract your attention. Guess what? They just need you to look at this for 6 seconds. When you're making a post, you need to make that post. Don't just you can if you have a good following already, you can just post some content and people will stop and look at it because it's you. But if you're not there yet, you're still building yourself up. Guess what you got to do? You got to stop and say, "Look at me. Take a look at me." Make your post, be short to the point, right? That's something that I'm working on. Be short to the point. Hashtag went in there. My name is hashtag Cedric Harding, and I do hashtag life insurance. The end hashtag legacy smart group, and I'm going to put a picture that people are not stopping to look at your words. They're starting to look at that image. Why do you post this image? Now I'm going to go and pay attention and see what he says to see how it relates together. So you need people to stop and look at what you're doing, right? And then one thing that I'm doing the thumb thing, I'm going back and forth. Guess what? I just took a pause. I looked at your picture, I read your content, I liked it, and I kept it moving. I'm looking for more. You need 6 seconds out of their life just to if they're going to take people do this a couple times throughout the day. I'll talk about those highlights here later. All right, and I'll just cover some of these things. So what's the other thing that Miss Algorithm likes? She likes when you communicate with others. So how many times have you seen happy birthday, but you just kept going, you just hit like? How many times have you just said happy birthday because somebody said it's their birthday and it gives you little balloons and all the other type of stuff, but you didn't do anything to stand out? This is the first thing I said in the beginning. So guess what? You have to say happy birthday, wish you many more later, many more. I can't wait to get invited to your party, Miss Jackson, right? Hashtag Cedric Harding, right? So you have to make people stop and look at your posts. And guess what? That person that you're commenting happy birthday knew that you took just a couple more seconds to put a personal note and you didn't do what everybody else did and just say happy birthday. All right, that really didn't mean nothing. I'm just counting. Yep, you said happy birthday to me. Guess what? I'm just gonna say the same thing to you. But that person over there, man, they must have really meant that. That was a special note. So that's what you have. Miss Algorithm likes that. So when you do that, next time Miss Jackson makes a post, Miss Jackson pops up in your news feed, and you're going back and forth. So you gotta, in order to become relevant to individuals, now you have to make comments, and then guess what? That creates the conversation, and now I'm sending you a message because it looks like you want to communicate with me, right? Keep your content short. Instagram follows keywords, not just people, right? So you, I like barbers, right? I love looking at, I love artwork. And um, um, I think it's not, I'm not sure if it's cosmetology or caught off guard. It wasn't part of my presentation, but barbers, right? Um, I post Chicago. I search hashtag Chicago barbers. So guess what? Because barbers need to know about LIRPs, life insurance retirement plans, because they don't have. Most of them don't have retirement plans. Most of them get making cash, and or they're getting paid from the facility and things like that. So they don't have those things in place. So guess what? I'm looking for barbers so I can provide that information. So every time somebody says, "Hey, best barber in Chicago," hashtag Chicago barber, guess what? Every time, because I follow a keyword that I like, guess what? It's going to pop up on my news feed. It could be Miss Jackson, Joe Jackson, anybody. Guess what? I just seen that photo because they posted a photo, and usually it comes from Instagram. So don't just follow people, follow keywords too as well. Don't make that a habit of following all 1,000 keywords. Follow individuals that really stand out, but find those key things that you like in order to get the things that you're looking for. So if you just hashtag life insurance, remember life insurance is making a lot of money tax free and they're not paying anybody. So you want to follow unique passwords, right? There's 1,000 people doing real estate and life insurance and things like that. So guess what? What stands out? So find those things that stands out that maybe nobody's looking for, right? Post branding images, right? You want to put your image in front of everybody so they remember it. So you'll see my image later on down the line. All right. Now, did you leave or review Mr. or Mrs. Gmail? Right. So then, look at your Gmail too as well and just, make sure you put something in your signature block so you can always say, hey, this is my link to this and that. This is this is how you get to it. Put a signature block to it for everything. So I got your Facebook link, I got your YouTube, I got all these key things. Go into Gmail, update your signature block, and that way everybody can always find your content. It's like at your job. If somebody, for those of you have like one of those desk side jobs, there's always a signature block that has a number, location, and things like that. Put what you want people to find. Make it easier to find you. Thanks, Miss Algorithm. All right. So grouping your audience and your business. So let's go from right to left. So personal. Everybody got a personal page. I can find you. And just remember, you can make your posts public, you can make them private, right? Um, you can make them for public, everybody see, or you make them for friends. You make it for yourself, for friends with exception. Because everybody, some people you got on your page, you just don't like them. So guess what? You know what? I'm gonna do exception. All right. I want everyone to see this one post except this one person that I'm talking about. Right. I don't like them. I don't want them to see this because they're gonna tell everything. Right. So you can exempt that person from being seeing your post. Right. But you want to connect with people and for you. So when somebody wants to look for you, they gotta be able to find you, right? So don't go make your post top secret. They gotta know my birthday and what color my jeans is that I wore yesterday, just so they can find you. Make yourself visible for people to find, and then guess what? Now you can do the friends or um, public posts, right? And make sure when you're looking for people, individuals, if they're so private, they probably won't be the best ones that you want to um, um, probably partner with because they now they got to work on opening up. That's how it is with most of the military people because I am one of them, right? It's very private, so I had to learn to open up and be more public because we're trained to not be so open to the public because there's some people that just may not like us as individuals for what we do. There's people that don't like insurance or financial advisors or people that are in public service. So then you have to protect yourself and your family. So what you do is one thing a tip I'll give you is don't be the person out there that just lists, hey, this is my whole family on the side. Still keep those things private. Only people that need to know that information is the people that you want to know it. Okay. So now next, let's get to the good stuff. Groups, right? Many of you create groups and you just add people, follow me to come join my group. You're only limited to the people that's in your group. So if you got 36 people, only the 36 people were going to see it. And maybe even if you're not doing the algorithm thing and they're not commenting based on what I told you before, maybe if you got, the 36 people in the group, maybe only 24 are seeing that post, right? So then, but you can control it. You can say what you want in that group. You can manage. You can have an admin. You can have people manage it, things like that. So if you have a business and you do business with a client, the best thing is, okay, after you after they purchase something for you, put them in a group so they can continue to get information. Ask them if they would like to be part of your group. That way they can continue to have the updates. Or if you're in a leadership role and you put your partners in that group so you can provide them information. Now, a page, that's where it's at. That's where the gold is at. So if you have a Facebook page, it's one-way communication. Now you gotta be careful. It's open to the public now. The group was private. Now you open to the public. Anybody can join. Anybody can say the craziest thing. Now you can probably set it up to where, hey, you want to approve comments or posts or anything like that. But guess what? When you do a page, you putting out your time, who you are, you're branding yourself, you putting photos, you just giving one-way information. All right. You can put your calendar, and guess what? The biggest thing, you can actually generate leads from here. So you can go on there, create a post, and say, hey, would you like to boost your post? Right? Boost is say, hey, would you like to pay to share? And guess what? If you put $13, we can probably um, put this put this one post in front of 5,000 users. All right, 5 or 1,000, or you doing 2 days, 1 hour, whatever case may be. You can't do that with a group. You can't do that with your personal page, but you can do that with a page. So then that's how you start generating your leads and drawing people in, and people from any and all walks of life will be looking at this page, right? But now they don't know who the did you brand yourself? Are they looking at you, or they're looking at your business? So you got to decide which one you want to do. You got to make your mind up. And then it has auto replies and things like that. So with your group, there's none of that. With a page, you get, hey, thank you for reaching out. What do? You can set up those auto replies. So while, like I said, if you don't have a website, this may be your temporary or your permanent solution. All right. So it's awesome. What do I recommend? Have all three. All right. Have all three. Guess what? You on Instagram, share it to your page. That way you're doubling up on the content, but you're not doubling up the efforts. Okay. Don't do double the work. Okay. All right. Now, communication. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. So when prospecting, comment on posts with personal messages. Drive 3 to 4 comments and move to the inbox. So guess what? If you're talking with someone, right? You're talking with an individual, and this it's like a text message. Hey, look, you've been saying so much stuff in here. Can you just give me a phone call? Because it's hurt my head trying to read what you're saying, and my thumbs is kind of tired. So sometimes you don't want to put your information out there, this whole conversation, because sometimes things could be good, things could be bad, and sometimes you put information out there that everybody's just reading, right? And you give away the answers. So guess what? After 3 to 4 comments, guess what? Just move it to the inbox, because guess what? You're already engaged in the conversation, right? Now, attraction. All right. Combination. When you're posting on social media, all right, you can talk about your products all day and people can see those products everywhere. So if you're on your personal page, you want to ensure that you're consistently posting daily. Okay. Don't be the person that posts every 3 to 4 months, because I'm not going to take you serious. I don't know if you're even still there. Right. But people want to see happiness. All right. They want to see joyful events. If you're running a business and you're having a good time, I may want to see how you're doing it and what you're doing and when you're doing, because I want to see that. People want to see jokes and things. So be yourself, but you have to be conscious of your content. Nothing that's going to be taken out of perspective. You can try to stay away from some things, like people have anything that would cause conflict. Okay. you never want to have a negative conversation because then you're gonna take that to the inbox, right? So joyful life events that promote happiness. All right. Celebrate, read, and offer services. Right. So post something that makes people laugh, that makes them happy. Say good morning. Okay. Every day, every other day. Say good morning, grand rising, or however you want to say it. A good morning is universal for everyone. Okay. So then be conscious because you want to be diverse. All right. So, celebrate things. Hey, happy. I want to recognize people when you go out and you're at a store, you meet the owner. Take a picture with the owner and say, hey, I had a great time. I was at this restaurant. Guess what? People are like, man, he's talking to the owner. I ain't never talked to the owner you know, and make, offer your services. Now, when you make posts, you got to ask questions. Do not put a post out there and then just say, hey, I do life insurance, everyone. You can get a term for 30 years, the end. And then you didn't even hashtag. So, hey, would you like to learn more about terms and why people um, usually get these for 30 years to cover their mortgage or whatever the case may be? Now you spark somebody's interest. Hey, yeah, tell me about that. You ask the question that requires a response. That's what you need to do when you make a post when you want feedback. If you don't want feedback, you want to put it out there and people want to celebrate with you and just read it, then you do that. But if you want to offer your services, it has to come in a form where people are going to ask questions or just they're going to want your what you have. And then just let people know the door for opportunity is open, right? So you just got to put it out. Don't overwhelm people every day, every hour. So when you're doing your post and things like that, the best times is from 1 to 3 p.m. and then 6 to 7, right? There's different that changes, but this most people think about when people are on their lunch break, when they come back to lunch and they from lunch and they don't want to do any work, be a little bit lazy or taking breaks. It's usually between I said 1 to 3 or noon to 3 p.m. Right? You got core hours that's nine to 12 and 1 to 5. All right, 1 to 4. So just take that into consideration, and then only share the content that supports your business. So you can't really share everyone's. There's a thing like, why didn't you share my stuff? I can't. That ain't how I say it is. But you share things that supports you too as well. So go to if you have other businesses that's tied to yours, like I am an insurance broker, right? I talked about Allianz, so I'm gonna share information about Allianz, right? That's completely okay. It falls in line with what I do, right? Okay. So does your page talk about your business? So if I go to your page right now, and I want to read the first 5 posts. Go back to your personal page and go look at the last 5 posts that you made. And if it doesn't talk about your business, guess what? You got to make some changes, right? People like to validate. Since I am a African American male, right? And really, it doesn't matter about race, but sometimes it does. Okay. Most people are gonna look to see if I'm telling the truth, right? I'm just being real. This is me. I'm never going to change. Okay. So when looking at that, and most of the time because I am a male, right, and I'm usually advertising to women, right? They want to validate that I'm a real person. There's too many scams on social media. Okay, so usually people will look and say, okay, well, is he just trying to get in my inbox? The things, no, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to. I am a professional, and I want you to be able to find me and know that I'm legit. Okay, I'm not trying to. I am a small, black business owned business. I have a small black business, small. You know what I'm saying, right? So I want people to know that that's my business. So it has to say that. right? So if yours doesn't talk about that, I don't know that you do life insurance, e-commerce, credit repair, tax consultation, things like that. Guess what? They're not going to take me serious. I just asked to get in your inbox to get you to consider what I'm doing, and there's nothing that even says what I'm doing. Okay, let's wrap this up. Final slide. All right. So Google challenge, y'all. Let's post it. So if you got your phone, take out your phone. Yeah, go ahead and take out your phone. All right. So just a little nugget for you. Now there's different places that you can do this, and this is where I started. So I did my QR code off of Shopify, right? So if you take out your phone and aim it at the QR code, there you will find my what I use, a link how I built mine and my personal questionnaire for my business to get to Legacy Smart Group. And if you would like to reach out and learn more or become a entrepreneur in the financial solutions area to do life, health, and a couple other things, then just go fill out the questionnaire, hold your phone up, aiming at the QR code. Hopefully it picks up. It'll take you to my questionnaire, and then you can go from there, right? And I'll be waiting. I'll myself or one of my agents will respond to you, okay? All right, so now that you got that, all right, best post. Good morning. Can I have a good morning back? That is one of my favorite posts that I learned from someone that does credit repair. And I was wondering how his post wound up having almost 1,000 comments, and it was just stuck there for like a whole week. Like how? And he told me algorithm, miss algorithm, right? They posted, he commented back, they went back and forth. And guess what? This is a way that you can find yourself to be active, to see who's active, right? Who's looking at your page. All right. Take a selfie. Um, my Facebook, make a Facebook story, add music, make a statement. So Facebook in the top left hand corner has a little plus sign, and that's to add a story. So every time you go out somewhere, you're looking good, you're looking sexy. What you want to do is make it a story. You out eating dinner, say, hey y'all, can I take a picture with the table? Take a picture with the table. Guess what? Post a picture, put some words to it. Had a great time at dinner, educating, informing everyone about life insurance. So it looked like you actually had a meeting with everybody. I don't know if that's the truth, but you might have to ask me what I was really doing. But you're gonna see me everywhere. Hey, I'm at International McDonald's in Chicago. I'm out bowling with the group. I'm having a good time. People want to see joy. People want to see you communicating. That's all of those things. So if you just you ever seen something that's just straight up boring? That's why I'm telling you put music. 6 seconds. I was trying to figure out which one. 6 seconds. Make a statement, right? Make a statement and people like, boom. I like that. I love Joe, what you said. All right. Now make a post with your photo and just be bold about it. Like, boom. Don't I look good? I am Mr. Harding. Hashtag it, right? I feel good today as an entrepreneur. Hashtag entrepreneur. Guess what? Somebody's like, I'm looking for an entrepreneur today. I'm gonna recruit them. I'm a headhunter. They're gonna find that post because you were the last one to post it. You want to be found. All right, so here's the challenge, and we're wrapping it up here. Thanks for spending your time with me. All right, let's take the Google challenge. I want you to post 3 days in a row on those three platforms. Okay, you're gonna do those posts. Anything that you want. I just want you to end it. I want you to keep it short to the point. Use those three of the platforms that I showed you. I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn seems to be the most out of the last couple of days. I went to look at Google, and you can see that when you search me, or you search Cedric Harding with a CK. All right, search me. You'll see that I most of everything's LinkedIn, right? And maybe you may see this video that pops up too as well. Okay. So you do that three times. You're gonna hashtag your name or your business 3 days in a row, three different platforms. And even sometimes you want to be serious with it, you can really just post the same picture if you want, right? But take that same picture, the one of me today, and post that one on three different platforms, then go another day, post that picture, go another day, and then even go hard in the paint and do 4 days to lock it in stone. And let's see how long it stays there. And you may see me, you might see a older gentleman with a grayish beard. I think he's trying to take over my profile. He's a person with the same name. He just has a he just doesn't have a K in his name. All right. So that's the end of this class. All right. I thank you for spending the time with me. Um, and I wish you the best of luck. I am the founder of Legacy Smart Group, Mr. Cedric Harding. I had a great time with you here today. Thank you.